Hey, so today I want to show you something really cool if you are an ABM marketer or a startup founder looking to apply ABM techniques at your company. What we're going to show is a step-by-step guide of how to create hundreds or thousands of personalized landing pages. So a landing page for every single one of your target accounts. We're going to do this all with no code and in just a few minutes. So before we jump into the demo, I wanted to show you a quick example of what this will look like. So here is a page that I created in Webflow for one of our target accounts, Flock. Flock has a CEO named Harris, and so we are literally targeting his name here, including his logo, and then customizing every aspect of this page. So we talk about retreat planning companies just for him, and if you go to the bottom, we talk about saving time and money, running Flock better. We can also take a look at a second account. Again, this wasn't created by hand. This is all done automatically. And here I've got a new page, this time targeting ourselves, Whalesync. We mentioned myself, we have a little image there, and now we talk about bookkeeping for no-code companies specifically. So in this way, you can create target account specific landing pages for every different persona you have and create hundreds or thousands of them all at once. So really quickly, let's also just talk about what ABM is. ABM stands for account-based marketing. It's a new way of doing marketing that actually flips the way you reach out to customers on its head. In normal marketing, you're trying to reach as many people as you can. With ABM, you're actually creating a very targeted list with maybe 50, 100, or at most 1,000 or 2,000 accounts that you're going to hit with as many different types of marketing as you can. The key to ABM is doing it with personalized marketing. When you reach out to these people, you want them to know that you understand their problems and you understand how your solution might actually be able to help them. And so this is where personalized landing pages come in. If you can create a unique landing page for every single target account that you have, your chances of converting them go way up. So with all of that out of the way, let's get into the demo of specifically how you can create these landing pages yourself. To create our template pages, there are three main steps. The first is we'll need to create a template page in Webflow. This is where we're going to design what we want our target accounts to see. The second thing we're going to need to do is fill out a database with all of the information that we want to display on these pages. For this, we're going to use Airtable. And so Airtable lets us put in names, images, logos, even headings, things like that, that are going to populate our target account pages. And then finally, the last thing we'll do is use Whalesync to connect our database Airtable to our template pages in Webflow. That way we can create hundreds, if not thousands of different pages for all of our target accounts. All right, so let's start with the Webflow side. In Webflow, you can design pages. So if you click on Webflow, go to Home, you can basically add any sort of element you want. Images, text, headings. For this example, I've created a fake accounting firm called Accounto, and you can see a little bit about their website here. For the purposes of our target account pages, what we're going to do is use the Webflow CMS. So here is where you create what they call collections. This is where we're going to store data for all of our target accounts and then use that data to populate a page for each one. And so I've created a collection called companies. And here you can see I have this pre-filled already. 2 companies, Flock and Whalesync. The key thing here is that I've made a field for every single piece of content that I want to make dynamic. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. So now that I've created this companies collection, if you go over to pages, you can go to a company's template and fill this in with whatever design you want. I've already kind of pre-designed it, but once you've designed a template page, you can start to fill it in with data about each of your target accounts. And the way you do that is click on an element. So let's take this here. We have a heading element that's sort of just a placeholder for our template. And let's say we want to fill it in with dynamic data. I can click on settings and then get text from companies, select the field I want. So I think I want H3 here. And there we go. Now, this says accounting made for Flock for our Flock page, but if we change to Whalesync, our second company, boom, it instantly updates. And let's do that over here. Let's take this. This is, presumably a logo section over here. I want to grab my image from companies and put the long logo there. And there we go. Now this has been customized. And again, back on Flock, same idea. What's really cool is that this data, if you go back to our collection, is the same thing that's just stored here. So we've got Flock, the name, this H3 accounting made for Flock is what we're storing and displaying, and then this long logo, right? Same idea for Whalesync. And so this is really nice. You can customize it for each of your accounts, but you can also do it on a personal level. So let's say we want to customize not just for Flock, but for the CEO of Flock. Over here in image, I can grab settings, get image from companies, and do a profile picture. And this is the CEO of Flock. If we change this to Whalesync, same idea. We're now targeting myself. And so this is the Webflow side. The thing about this is that this works really well if you need to create 5 or 10 pages, but if you want to create 100 or 1,000, you need to do this at scale. You don't want to go through one by one in each of these company pages and enter all of this data. It'll take forever. So instead, what we're going to do is use a tool called Airtable. And so here in Airtable, we've got a database with a table called companies, and it has all of the data that we want to show in Webflow, right? We've got that name, that H3, the profile picture, the logos, right? And Airtable, if you aren't familiar, is just really great at managing tons and tons of data. You can make bulk updates, you can create linked records across tables, and one of the really important things, you can make formulas work for you. So here, right, instead of writing out save time, money, and run Whalesync better for every single company on our entire list, we can just create a formula that takes the name of the company from here, inserts it, and then calculates the company. Cool. So let's talk about 2 little extra bonus things to take this to the next level. Aside from just entering in the data for all of your target accounts, you can also start to personalize it based on the persona. And so what I mean by that is we have a persona here for startups versus enterprise, right? Whalesync and Flock are startups. Amazon is an enterprise. We might want different headings for different companies that fit this different persona. For example, we can create a formula here in Airtable that says if the persona is startup, then give us this. If not, if it's an enterprise, then give us that, right? And so that's what you see. Amazon gets a different heading than Whalesync or Flock. Another cool upgrade we can do to speed up this process a bit in Airtable is we can actually use an extension to pull in data through Clearbit. So if we don't want to grab the email addresses or the logos for every single company on our list, instead we can go to extensions. We can add an extension, search for one called Data Fetcher. This lets you pull in data from different APIs, create a request, and search for Clearbit. And there we go. I'm not going to go through the demo of Data Fetcher or Clearbit, but you get the idea. You can literally connect this, pull it into your Airtable base, and let that populate your target account list as well. All right, so our last step is actually connecting the data between Airtable and Webflow. Webflow, as you know, has all of our target account landing pages, or it's ready to have them. It has a template. Airtable has the data for our target accounts. And so over in Whalesync, we'll create a new base. I've already connected Airtable. Let's connect to Webflow. And let's search for Accounto. There we go. And we'll authorize and save. And once we've connected to both Airtable and Webflow, we'll just map the data, right? So we're mapping this company's table in Airtable to this company's collection in Webflow. We've got that turned on. We're good to go. We're going to do the same thing for mapping fields. As you can kind of remember, we had a name field and a logo field and an H2 field, etc. And we want to map all of those fields from Airtable to Webflow. Again, to make sure that all the data about our target accounts is making its way where it needs to go. So we'll finish up that mapping. And once we finish up that mapping, we're good to go to turn sync on. And now over on the Webflow side, we can refresh our Webflow page and we will start to see that data. So all of these records here, Whalesync, Flock, Amazon, all these accounts are now going to be in our companies table. And we can go ahead and see that by clicking through, right? Amazon, Flock, Whalesync. And there we go. This is how you make personalized landing pages for every single one of your ABM accounts and do it at scale with no code in just a few minutes. Hope that was helpful, and we'll see you again soon.